There it is. All right, folks, welcome to parte finale of Shining in the Darkness on Mac Paladin's Retro Gaming Emporium. I am, of course, Mac Paladin. This is RPG Thursdays. And I did quite a bit of grinding because I wanted to be able to show some comedy elements of the game in the final official chapter. I did a couple of videos this past week since our last meeting where I recorded one that was showing what I do when I'm goofing off, and in order to do what I wanted to do for tonight's video, I had to advance the plot a little bit. Because you can't get certain items until you become the Shining Knight. So if you're interested in seeing how that happened and the encounter with the fairy fountain, the first encounter with the fairy fountain where they reveal the final phases of the plot, be sure to check the videos below in my highlight section for part 9.2 is what I'm calling it. And that has me goofing off a little bit. My first encounter with crystal oozes, which are a nasty little bugger that gives 30,000 experience points each. And this is why we wanted the comedy weapons, was so that way I could get as close to max level as possible within the time allotted. Now, unfortunately, I didn't have a lot of time because I was, working hard to pay the rent and all that good stuff. So as a result, I didn't get to max level on all the characters. I got to level 90 on the main character, and then Milo just falls way, way behind, and he's like level 82, 83, 84, something like that. And so he's like more than 6 levels behind, and Pyro's like 2, and it's just weird. I don't know why they do that, but there you go. But yeah, so we'll be getting into the final part, and then this is going to be fast. If I do it right, and I don't get some negative RNG, which is possible, then this is going to be, then the actual gameplay portion of it is going to be over pretty quick, and then we'll be getting into talking about the road ahead towards the end of the episode. So, sit back, strap in, and get ready to enjoy the final chapter. At least our final chapter of Shining in the Darkness, for the sake of Genesis. All right, and we'll do a dramatic recap here. And if you want some additional goofing off with crystal oozes, be sure to check out my rarefied art stream from Tuesday. Because I elected to do some grinding on screen there and show off the shock box and the ogre flute, which are hilarious. Actually, I will be showing those off again tonight, but I'm just saying, if you want to see the initial goofing with that, that's what we got going. Making some quick adjustments to my ergonomics here. Also adjusted my network setup here. Yesterday, or actually this morning, I was at Goodwill, and I found a Nighthawk dual band router for $7. I need to reset it because it's still got somebody's personal. The Wi-Fi is currently unusable. I have to do a hard factory reset on it, but still a good deal. But the wired portion of it is blazingly fast. Like this has so much better of a processor than my old gigabit wired router. It's not even funny. So yeah, things are a wee bit steadier. All right. It's stuck here. I'm going to be in the coming weeks, I'm also going to be making adjustments to my desk here to do some cable reduction. I actually have a 4-port KVM switch, and it's designed for PS2 and VGA. I don't need it for the monitors, I just need it for the keyboards. I've got a Razer Black Widow gaming keyboard here, and there's like 3 keyboards for the machines over here, and I don't need that. 3 keyboards and 3 mice, and it's a clusterfuck. And that's not even putting it nicely. All right, here we go. Are we ready to continue the adventure? You betcha. Level 90. Fast. As I was mentioning on the art stream on Tuesday, I've gotten to the point to where the pathing in stage 5 is so straightforward that unless I distract myself and do something foolish, actually, let me get a couple more notices out here to folks who may not be aware that we're live. All right. That's the best I can do at this point. Woohoo! Pyro goes up a level. I'm going to do, once we get to a certain corridor, I'm going to do some, I'm going to work on some demonstrations. So there is going to be some padding here. Actually, let's take a moment here and review our equipment here. So, of course, the main character, whom I've named Micaiah, is he's got all of the light armor and gear. It's pretty much an inevitable thing. If you don't have this, you can't win the game. Period. Now, once you become the Shining Knight, there is a piece of cursed armor that there is some cursed gear that you can use that is more powerful, but I don't recommend it because the negatives outweigh the positives. Now, Milo, of course, here has some things. He has the Mithril Shield, the Elven Hood, the Heal Ring, which actually gives a bonus. I can't remember if it gives a bonus to, like, just having it in his inventory bag. If it gives him a bonus to magic points or magic ability, there was something about that, or hit points or something. But there is an advantage to him having it in his bag, and it gives us a free heal, assuming I don't break it. The Super Flail is the weapon that's interesting because although it is almost 100 points less effective in damage output for a single hit, it hits 3 times. So we're going to do a trick here later on where Pyra is going to be throwing boost 1 on him and the hero, and I believe combined they're going to do about 1,000 to 1,500 damage every round. Also, I made a mistake earlier in the game, and I used one of my mithril pieces to make a light robe for Milo, and I regretted that, and the game rewarded me by dropping a mithril armor from an enemy that I was fighting repeatedly. So he now has his best armor, so I was so happy about that. And then, of course, Pyra has her Hex Whip and her Mithril Shield and her Mithril Hood, but she also has all of these crazy items. I went back and I took off the light robe and I put the magic mail on her because the magic mail is by far her best armor in the game, and the blessing of the light armor is dubious. No one is able to, it's flagged in the code of the game as being blessed, like the light armor that the hero wears, but it doesn't show, there's no indicator demarcating what that means. In other words, no one has been able to figure out what the ancillary benefit of having blessed gear versus having better defense is. So the magic mail is the way to go. And then what you do is you drop the barrier ring in her bag, and she's damn near indestructible. Now Pyra also has incredibly, look at her armor factor. It's 440. It's actually over 100 points higher than the hero, and she's the black mage. And her weapon factor is even incredibly high for a magic character, which is really weird. But as you can see, I've got the shock box, the ogre flute, and the earth hammer in her inventory, and then a barrier ring, because just having that barrier ring in her inventory gives her this ridiculous armor factor. So like some of the more powerful enemies that used to do 40, 50 points of damage are now doing anywhere from 1 to 13 points of damage to her. And this was stuff that was just rocking the world, before. An awesome blow. So just figured I'd share that stuff. An awesome blow. But yeah, the pathing on this level is ridiculously easy. Like I was doing it from muscle memory practically. I had to muddle these guys in order to get the super flail. And if you keep them around long enough, like if you toy with them long enough. Hey, welcome to the show. But if you keep them around, long enough, muddled, they actually give you their treasure. That's how you ensure that you get these incredibly rare drops, is that you muddle the enemies and eventually they'll go crazy and just give you their shit. I mean, look at this. Milo's hitting 3 times. Blackbone dies like he's not even there. Oh no. 1 point of damage. Oh, that sucked. She didn't even hit the whole enemy party that time before she got tangled up. The attack misses. It works on everything except bosses. But even the things flagged as mini bosses, like build block and stuff like that, I muddled him and he gave me the mithril armor. Like, it literally said the enemy hands you his treasure. Now, I don't want to go get the Doom Staff and do this little demonstration. I did a demonstration of this on my little video. So like I said, if you want to watch, there's a video that's about 1 hour and 6 minutes long, or 1 hour and 3 minutes long, or something like that, somewhere in that range, down in the VOD section, under past broadcasts, or no, it's in my highlights section. Yeah, mini boss drops generally are pretty spot on. Like, he can either give you the armor or he can give you a chunk of mithril and you can make stuff with it. You can actually get more chunks of mithril than you can actually make items for. Like, you could just have the what's his name? The trader, the guy in the tent. You could just have him make stuff forever, but you wouldn't be able to use all of it because you'd already have all of it. You know, it's crazy. But like, if you wanted to deck everybody out in mithril gear pretty early on, there are actually enemies earlier in the game where you can get mithril chunk drops from certain mini boss type enemies that actually show up repeatedly. Alright, so if we continued going straight forward there, we would have fallen down a pit trap because that's how this level rolls. Alright, so we're going to do the thing now where we're going to go ahead and boost Milo. And look at that, his attack factor increases by 243. So everything pretty much dies with one hit when he hits it. This is what we want. This. Da, 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 da. Good lord. See, now Freeze 4 still hurts us bad. Oh. And they're going to try to hit us multiple times. You know what? You get the indignity of regular attacks. They're doing everything possible to make sure that we take this as slowly as humanly possible. I'm saving the comedy portion until we get to a certain point in the dungeon. Well, yeah, the Hex Whip is extremely effective against most of the enemies in this dungeon. It's kind of interesting. At least all of these, like, flying enemies. like these little dragons and the demons and stuff. But yeah, I was wasting a lot of magic points doing like Bolt 3 and Bolt 4 on all of these enemies, and it's just completely unnecessary. It's like, once you boost everybody, then you can start dropping Bolt 4 on Dark Soul, but beyond that, there's no reason. Yep. Because once you're at this high of a level, you can pretty much kill everything with just your regular weapons. Back in. And here's our fountain. And there's our fairy. Fae, whatever. We did a callback joke last week where I was reminded that we don't call them fairies since the war. And if you follow my smut fantasy series, Peppermint Saga, you'll understand what that means. So this is the guy that gives away free mithril armors. Not even worth wasting the magic points. Everything dies in one round. An awesome blow. Build block dies. Alright, here we go, kids. We're on the home stretch now. Alright, so now for the comedy portion. Oh, what shall we do first? Let's hit the flying enemies with the shock box. Opens the shock box. Boom! Haha! Alright, well, we won't be using that again because small cracks appeared on the surface of the box. But that's okay. We got 2 more funny weapons to use. Damn, I just fixed that thing too. It's like, what the hell was that? Death? What kind? Instant? I'm not gonna waste it on a small group like this though. It's like, well, why didn't you just knock him out? And he's like, it's called a deterrent. What kind of deterrent would knocking people out be? Knocking them out of existence, possibly. Everybody wants to be knocked out. I'm just looking for a suitably large group to stomp with the ogre loot. Be cool if we could blow up some crystal oozes before we go face off against my man Ah, here we go. Item. Ogre flute. Brap. Alright. Now those are the two instant death items that I have. The only other item I have, of course, is the Earth Hammer, and that's not very exciting, so we'll just kill these guys and call it a day. An awesome blow. Alright, so in order to proceed, we drop down here, which brings us back down to level 4. And then we go back up the stairs. And now we are in the final corridor. An awesome blow. The area to the final chamber is actually pretty straightforward. I'm just double checking to make sure I didn't forget anything. They're gonna send all the dumb stuff after me now. I think the game knows I want to beat it. Let me see what I mean. I haven't even needed to boost myself at this point. Like in your 40s, these enemies would be pretty menacing. But once you get into the 80s, not much can hurt you. Now, there is one more item, and I may do like a very brief video demonstrating this item. But it's called the Black Box, and I think you get it once you get to max level. The Black Box is an instant death item that opens up a literal black hole and sucks all the enemies into it. I think you get it at either level 95 or 99. But again, once you get to that point, the only reason for getting it is for comedic purposes. Alright, here we go. Time to gird up our loins and take the field of battle, my friends. Alright. Admirable, truly admirable. You may not know it, but I've been looking forward to this. Strange as it seems, Micaiah, I've been bored. After attaining all this power, there were none to challenge me. Until now, that is. Your death will make my victory all the sweeter. Alright, attack. Attack. Boost. An awesome blow. Oop. 30, 33, 31. What? Now this boost will stick around after this. 365. Oh, we stand victorious. Yeah, don't get too excited just yet. Why? Why must I lose? By the darkness, this cannot be. Did I not pay the price? Is this the power you pledged me for my soul? Will the darkness allow its will to be undone by a mere child? Heed me, darkness, give me your all, and I'll give you the world. And then he turns into a real monster. So we're going to do something real fast here, and we're going to cast Quick on everybody. And then we're going to hit him with Bolt 4. Speed factor, defense factor increased. He gets to hit multiple times, so you do have to watch yourself. I'm going to go ahead and boost Pyra as well. You'll see. He has 3,500 hit points, so we got to do as much as possible. But it's largely going to be physical damage. He may do Dragon Breath on us or hit us with his tail. An awesome blow. Oof. That was probably the most damning thing he can do right now. Demon Breath. We're fine. He hits us twice. No big. Again, if we were at level 40 something, we'd probably be in a little bit more trouble right now. But that's okay. We have heal 4. Oh, he's hitting us with Demon Breath again. He really likes hitting us with Halitosis. And it's over. Beep boop, kids. Alright, so it automatically warps us out of the dungeon. We get a look at the town. If we go to the shops, trader's gone. Stop by the tavern. Good job, lad. Who would have thought that you kids would turn out to be such heroes? Milo, you did good, boy. I'm really proud of you. I don't know what that accent was, and I don't care. cannot thank you enough. I'm forever in your debt. We'll never forget your kindness. We paid a steep price for peace. I pray that it was all worthwhile. And of course, if you go to the armorer, I'm out of business. You will be remembered in elven lore. It doesn't even let you save the game at this point. Alright. So we go to the castle for our final reward. We'll talk to everybody first. Pyra, is it? I see an untapped potential in the girl. Micaiah, thanks to you, we no longer need to fear the darkness. It's so good to see you. I've been so worried. I'm sure Mordred is smiling right now. Aww. You've taught me what it means to be a knight. I thank you, Micaiah. Well, you know, it was nothing, really. You saved the realm. Step forward and the king will reward you. We'll recenter the image here. You are truly a hero among heroes. Micaiah, you've put an end to Dark Soul and his evil designs. I declare you first knight of the realm. Rise, Sir Micaiah. I christen thee first knight of the realm. Now rise, Sir Knight. May you be honored as your father once was. From now and forever, you are the lord and master of Castle Thorngard. As for Milo, I appoint you counsel to the new Lord of Thorngard. Now, what can I do for Pyra? I would like to have her join me so that she may learn all that I know. I see that Pyra is happy with your suggestion. So be it then. The kingdom of Thornwood will surely prosper with you three to guide us. And the ending. Roll credits. It looks like you've saved the kingdom. Thanks to you, peace reigns over Thornwood once again. It's sad that I must bid you farewell, but I'm sure we'll meet again. Oh, delightful. All right. Let me wait for my thing here. There we go. So that is it for Shining in the Darkness. And like I said, there is one last legitimately obtainable item that we could get that has some minor comedic value. And like I said, I may do a very brief video showing what it does, but that's it. That's the end of the game. So I did promise that we would talk a bit about the future. As discussed on last night's podcast, Moonhawk Studios Presents, the next game for RPG Thursdays is going to be Cosmic Fantasy Stories for the Mega CD. And that is the games Cosmic Fantasy 1 and 2, originally released by Riot for the... hang on a second. Actually, I got a better way to do this. There we go. Originally released by Riot for the PC Engine Turbo Duo in Japan. It is actually a 5-part saga, but we're going to focus largely on 1 and 2 because I happen to have those. I will try. At some point in the future, as things progress, I will attempt to get parts 3, 4, and 4 part 2. But for the time being, we're going to focus on the first 2 games in the saga, and that will be our thing. Now, this is going to be interesting because this game is in Japanese. The only game to come over to the U.S. in English in the Cosmic Fantasy saga is Cosmic Fantasy 2, and that was put out by Working Designs. And quite frankly, I don't like their translation. It's just... It's funny, but I don't know. There's something clunky about the game, and I've found glitches, and I've had a hard time progressing in the game, and I don't know. We'll give this a go, see what happens, because like I said, this is the complete port of the first 2 games, and I feel like there'd be some continuity there as well, because then we'd have the same version of both of these games. So that is going to be our next foray on RPG Thursdays. Is Cosmic Fantasy Stories, Cosmic Fantasy 1 and 2. Anything else going on that is worth mentioning that I can use to fill time with? So we're going to make our, 4th attempt to complete Macross Eternal Love Songs for the Turbo Duo on Sunday. And we're not going to get through it because okay. Knocking on wood there. I may attempt tomorrow to create a save state that allows us to complete our last failure. Or better yet, I may just play up to that point and record the ending of the episode and use Google Lens. Oh, that's one of the other thing I was going to mention is, in order for this to work, in order for me to play Cosmic Fantasy 1 and 2, because I do not have a working knowledge of Japanese, I will have to use Google Lens. So, Google Translate. So, you may get some interesting results. And then at some future point, I'm going to continue Tales of Innocence R. I don't know if it's going to be an RPG Thursdays feature or what, but I do want to continue it because, we are 3 parts into that, and I would like to actually see how that turns out. So, there you go. That's the path forward. There's not really much else to say here. I mean, I kind of started really late, and things have been kind of hairy lately, trying to get things done and get things set up and replace broken things and just get the bills paid so that way I don't have, imminent threat of loss of livelihood and stuff like that. And that's still technically ongoing. But I'm hoping that I can use this month to realign because the students are coming back to school. Business should pick up a bit in the next week or so. And hopefully I can get car payments, insurance, all that stuff settled up so that way we can play some games and not have to sweat late start times and just me generally feeling awful and, not showing up or canceling streams or whatever. Because I do want to do this full time, and that's not going to happen if I don't show up. So, let's see. So Friday, of course, is always my day off. Currently, I don't have anything planned. Like I said, I will probably off-screen the scenario that we have failed to complete now 3 times on Macross, and then record the ending piece of it so that way everybody can get the story and then be caught up for Sunday. And Saturday we will be back with FPS Shenanigans. We will be playing more Overwatch 2 right here at 6 p.m. Mountain Time on this channel. So be there or be square. Oh, and Sunday we start Fallout 76. I promised that January 8th would be the beginning of that. And so Shadows Mist and I will be solo streaming this, and she plays on Tuesdays. I don't. I have the Rarefied Art stream on Tuesdays, but I will be joining her for a brand new campaign starting this Sunday at 10 o'clock Mountain Time. That's 9 o'clock Pacific. So be there or be square. Until next time, I'm your host, Mac Paladin. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there, kids.